Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Prost! Trinker!
It's exciting. Welcome back to the OG Your Kummerforce.
Yeah. It's good to be back in the old Krieg. Welcome, everybody, to a momentous day. Let's start off with the most important topic. Gietman, what are you drinking?
The golden syrup of Deutschland. There is I found an Aldi that is a 6-minute drive from here. And they have, for anyone that doesn't know, in New South Wales, Aldi sells alcohol.
Do they not do it in the others?
Apparently
other
not.
states? Oh,
Yeah.
losers.
Absolute losers. But they have an alcohol section, and the ones, I don't know if this is still the case, but the ones over at the east of Sydney, they've got the alcohol section, but Aldi is German. So I've always gone in there and gone, why is there no German beers? They'd have like French beers, they'd have wines, whiskeys, all really cheap, which is good value. But I was like, where's the German stuff? I go to this Aldi, Hofbrau.
They got it.
They got the HB, the Hofbrau Original.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got them.
Do you know what? Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. They've got the Hofbrau Original, and then you'll never believe it, which is probably a little bit, Germans will frown at this maybe, but they've got Hofbrau Mid as well, 3.5%. So I bought a 4-pack of that, bought a 4-pack of the OGs. This is the OGs. And then they had these Christmas specials, which is like a 12-pack of 500 milliliter cans of like heaps of different variety of German beers. Most of them I'd never even heard of, but they are all, most of them, I've probably got like 4 or 5 left. Most of them have been delicious.
Have you found one that stood out that you've been like, this is a staple?
Yeah. So I've taken photos and I've been like, I need this.
Dude, you should have done a review of the
beers.
Yeah.
Schleimer.
Fuck, that would have been sick. Can you go back and get them?
I can, I don't know.
Not to deter from what Phil's talking about. We will get back to this. But have you ever decided to buy a new phone or buy a new PC or a video game or maybe some new headphones or something, and you go online to YouTube and there's some very polite gentleman, maybe he has glasses, maybe he doesn't, with a dimly lit room, which is very crisp audio, very crisp camera, and he's describing the differences between 2 microphones or 2 cameras or 2 laptops. Those kind of guys are basically the not all heroes wear capes kind of situation for us. Phil has decided to do one of those videos recently.
The tech review.
Yeah, he showed me the tech review, which is available on YouTube. The link is below. Fucking really good. It's really good.
It's it'll be really good if you happen to be looking for a keyboard case for a Galaxy S9 tablet 11-inch version. So very niche.
Not 12, 11.
Very niche, but the point of niche videos is that people that are looking for that product will find your video. Like I posted it without even, because when you post on YouTube, you can like notify your subscribers. So I didn't do that because I was like, most of my subscribers don't give a shit about this tech review.
They just want to see a lizard licking bugs.
Yeah, exactly. So I uploaded it without notifying. So I secretly uploaded it, and it's still got like almost 3,000 views in a month because people are looking for that product.
Hell yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun, even though I feel really awkward doing it.
Yeah. I know you'll find, dude. And take it from someone who is like dabbled in awkwardness and cringe.
Yeah. But it looks fine, but it doesn't mean I feel fine doing it.
That's live.
This is different, right? Because I'm talking to you and there's a camera, so I'll look in and I'll be like, brr, brr, brr.
Yeah. And you've got something to gauge, am I being interesting? Am I being funny?
Yeah.
Am I being
Whereas if you are, and you know this from filming auditions and shit, it's just you and a camera or a phone and you're talking to a fucking device and you're like, it's the weirdest thing.
Do you know what's fucking cool though? And I just thought of that while we were discussing this. Those tech reviews are fucking awesome. They're informative. They're crisp. The sound's cool. Somehow they've always got like a sweet, like lo-fi house jazz music in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got the Nikon 375. The Nikon 375 is actually really important because it actually has a dual thing compared to this, But
You
can you imagine?
you got the cadence down pat.
Yeah. Can you imagine that quality, but with a beer review? So you've got the close-ups and the sparkling of the beer, but it's almost like
this is
ASMR.
where you're going. Yeah.
It's ASMR. You sip and you go, flicks over. Now, the quality of the Hofbrau Dunkel compared to the Hofbrau Mid is very different. You see, it's a very heavy feeling in the body. I don't know why I sound like Jeff Nippard, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very American of you.
Thanks.
What would be the Australian version? Do an Australian one.
Oh, Australian one would be like,
With the same thing, Hofbrau.
yeah. Now, that's a really good beer. I find that the Hofbrau Dunkel, Germans don't beat me up in the comments. It really has a heavier feeling when it goes down, but it's got a really good aftertaste. Now, the Mid, even though it's a different color, still tastes the same, but to those who have never drank a beer before, they wouldn't be able to notice the difference. Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wouldn't be able to notice.
Yeah.
Notice.
Here's a couple of shots of people getting attacked by sharks, and we'll get straight back into it. Okay.
Do you know what? And I think we've spoken about this often, but like when you see an Australian in an American movie, I always feel like the accent is over the top, almost towards British, but more with that, hey, you gown.
We really do have to turn it up because Americans wouldn't know the difference between us and English unless we turn it up.
But when you find a YouTube channel and you see someone random that you don't know and it's an Australian and doing like a review, sometimes it takes me a minute to go, oh, hang on, he's actually Australian because it sounds so normal when it's not overdone.
Yeah.
Even though most of the tech reviews that I would watch are probably, there's probably some English blokes that do like recording gear and stuff, but
I've found, and this is just a quick observation, I've found when it comes to, I say a lot of Canadians as well. I find mainly it's English and Canadians when it comes to things like Rode mics and cameras for filming for some reason. And then when I've seen photography ones and stuff, it's American as well.
Probably me too, being too naive about the difference between Canadians and US accents. Have you seen the thing about things that Trump's been saying? About wanting Canada to join in Greenland.
Yeah, the Gulf of America.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's wild.
He's like, you guys are warmongers and we got to stop this.
There's been no war under Trump's.
Now let's expand the U.S. territory as soon as I get into office.
Well, he was saying, he's like, well, we're paying billions of dollars to Canada. We're protecting them. They're giving us nothing back. Why are we protecting them? We're protecting against Russia. Like
he's making logical points, but the way he's just gone about not mentioning that at all because he obviously wouldn't get voted in if he did, and then suddenly he's won it, and he's like, "Oh, now here's my agenda."
Sledgehammer information, just like we're doing this, boom,
and you're like, "Whoa, dude!"
Did you see what he did about?
That's going to cause some conflict.
Oh fuck yeah! He mentioned, I think it was last week. I looked at it early last week, or even the week before, towards the tail end. It was like Trump was like, he did that speech, and his foreign minister was there, and he's like, "Look, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it once and once only." If Hamas don't release the Israeli prisoners, all hell is going to break loose. And then I think I was on the crapper yesterday on the John, and it said it was like, they're in peace talks now too. I think it's like, there's like, don't quote me, I'm paraphrasing, like 10 to 30 Israeli prisoners or something. And I think there's like 130 Hamas prisoners they have or something. And even they want like Hamas to return some of the bodies that they have. So it's grim, dude. It's grim tidings.
Yeah, I got sucked into a little bit during the election and being like, oh yeah, look,
it's a spectacle.
It is.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I tried to become an X user, and it is
Twitter.
It is mayhem on there, dude. Like,
bro, Twitter is Sin City. It is no holds barred. You've got fucked up videos. You've got like nude chicks running around. It's fucked.
And I wanted to use it because I was like, oh yeah, this is where people get to post everything technically, supposedly.
Were you trying to post like 1 liter or your tech video? Or?
No, I wasn't even trying to post. I was just like, I want to become a user. Like I'll follow all these influential people, but it's just they're like, oh, freedom, free speech, blah, blah, blah. But it means that people just go so extreme in their own direction, right? Like, I don't agree with what you're saying, so you're obviously a child molester. That kind of vibe. Like that's the vibe I get. It's not exactly that, but it's like you just go for the most extreme attack you can to take someone down.
Straight to the heart, like complete
and then if it doesn't turn out to be true, there's no repercussions.
Yeah.
That's the whole issue. I mean, that's the issue from both sides, right?
I mean, it's an interesting experiment Musk has done because Musk said, no, free speech. Like where this is like the, which amendment isn't? Like the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
We're
not American, so
but
give
it's
us
like,
some slack.
Yeah. I think it's the Fifth Amendment is, whatever it is. Second Amendment, I think, is bear arms, or whichever one it is. But I think what's happened here is Musk said, look, you know what? Everyone's going to have freedom of speech. This will keep me unaccountable because, I've said this, so I'm going to let everyone just have no holds barred. But there must be some degree of suppressing this because it's rough, dude.
There's definitely still filtering going on, but he's just now controlling it. There has to be an algorithm, right? Because there's still rules. So I'm like halfway through listening to Zuckerberg on a Rogan, which is very interesting because he like breaks it down. And in Zuckerberg's case, I don't know what the numbers are for X, but for Zuckerberg, because they have WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, that's all Meta. So he said I think it was a daily basis. I might get this completely wrong, but on a daily basis, it's like 3.2 or maybe weekly, 3.2 billion people use one of their services on a regular. So if you're trying to, and they're obviously posting, some of them would be posting multiple things a day. So if you're trying to build a system that can regulate that, like even if it's just based on law, like if you post something that's illegal or you're promoting, I don't know, terrorism or human trafficking, child pornography, that kind of shit, like shit that's obviously objectively wrong, you still have to build an automatic system to do that because there's no way a human can check all this. So if you build an automatic system, you have to give it parameters that you choose. So he's saying it's finding a balance of how certain do we want the algorithm to be that this is content that needs to be removed? Or like, do we want it to be 95% certain, but then have potentially this much percentage of innocent content being taken down? Or do we want to lower the certainty, 95% certain, so then some shit will get left up, some bad shit, because it's not 100% sure, so it leaves it. Or you lower that and then innocent shit gets taken down and people complain. So where do you have that balance?
Where do you draw the line? Yeah.
So you go one way and people are like, you're taking down shit that shouldn't be taken down. You go the other way and you're like, why is there still pornography on my feed?
Yeah.
Like you're always going to get complaints from either end.
I think Musk is wise enough to just be like filtering it out. He's got far too much important shit to do,
Yeah, but I think, especially with the recent shit that he's posting, like
I haven't seen any of it, but
at least he's, in my opinion, at least he's pretty open about it because there's obviously uproar because he's saying like if something about the bill being passed, and he's like, if you vote for this bill, I will do, he said something along the lines of like, I'll get my wallet out basically, and I will do everything in my power that these people are removed. And you're like, what the fuck? So now you're just using the power of your money to control what you want the outcome to be. But my argument to that is, what, you think that wasn't happening before?
Yeah.
Just in the background?
Yeah,
At least he's just being upfront about it.
He's got the money to be upfront about it.
Well, the money exists. There's other oligarchs doing this shit in the background, but they're just not a public figure talking about it.
Exactly.
He's just saying it, Whereas
He's a
think
clown
that
to
wasn't
them, yeah.
happening in the background.
Mm.
I saw, so you know about Robert F. Kennedy being the new health.
Robert F. Kennedy. Yeah.
Being the new health minister.
Minister.
I've seen something about him. Oh yeah, he sounds so healthy, bro. It's a throat condition. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But
look at Darren Lockyer. Fuck.
yeah, but he's. I'm really hoping he makes some fucking solid changes. Like,
dude, I saw him his videos maybe 3 years ago onwards. Like really, it'd be like one video a year I saw maybe 3 years ago. And then like the last 2 years I've seen him a lot. I think he did Theo or at least and like, dude, like he had some really important things to say.
Big time.
Wasn't he running for president as well?
Yeah, he was running for president. Didn't do very well, obviously, because he's trying to not be part of either party. But
well, that family's cursed, dude. He might get assassinated.
Yeah. So, but he's trying to change shit like Kellogg's.
Red food diet, all
are
that
still
shit.
selling a different version of their cereal in America to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because Canada said, no, we've made that substance illegal.
Yeah.
So they're already making a healthier version, but just not selling it
Dude,
in their own country.
Yeah, and they've actually got examples of this. I saw this recently. If you look at the ingredients on the back of our one, for example, like a English base, because we're all part of the Commonwealth, Canada would have as well. It'd probably be like phosphorus, sulfate, and then right down the bottom, preservative 101. The American one is like extended. It's like a full paragraph.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I saw this on a Rogan clip. Then the New York Times wrote an article, in quotations, this is for anyone not watching the video, debunking, in quotations, RFK's claims and saying, RFK claims that our cereal is more toxic than other countries when the ingredients lists are basically the same apart from dirt and dirt and dirt. I'm like, that's
Cyanide.
exactly what he's talking about, you fucking idiots.
Idiots, dude. It's like the newer, were they younger people or older or?
No idea. The New York Times, dude. Like the official New York Times wrote
some guys
some fucking
there
journalist.
With cigars like, defend us somehow. I don't care. Like, what the fuck? Idiots. People are so lazy these days. They don't even put in effort. At least make it look good.
But they're literally proving themselves wrong in that article by saying they're basically the same except for these things. And like, you've just made his point for him.
Yeah, far more obvious. Yeah. Anyone who was in disbelief earlier is fully on board with JF.
So I think I think the main controversy is that he's labeled as an anti-vaxxer because he did all this research on mercury in the vaccines and effects on the brain and the
Did all vaccines have mercury in it?
That is what I listened to some of this shit. That is what they use to cause an immune response in your body. So they were like, what substance can we put in to make your immune system go into fight mode while we put in parts of the virus? So if you put in parts of the virus, because you're injecting a dead version of the virus, if you just did that, your immune system would be like, it's dead. So you have to inject something that wakes up the immune system, which mercury will do, because it's like, fuck, we got to get rid of this. And then there's dead particles of the virus. And then it's like, maybe it's this. And then it gets used to fighting it. And that's how the vaccine works.
Could they argue that there was a safe amount of mercury in there?
That is what they argue. And like the studies are, blood work, this and that. It dissipates.
Let's look at this. Like, I believe I saw a thing as like a guy ate like 80 cans of tuna in a month and he got mercury poisoning. How much mercury was in there in comparison to a can of tuna?
Yeah, I have no idea.
A safe amount, surely.
I don't know the numbers, but you're injecting it, right? So it's not going through your digestive system. It's not going through your liver. It's direct. And so what they find is, and I'm sorry, I don't have any studies to quote, but like look this shit up. What they find is apparently it very much accumulates in your brain tissue. And then they look at the correlation, and I'm specifically saying correlation, not causation. The correlation between when they started pumping way more vaccines and what's the spectrum? Autism.
Oh, so
autism rates when they started doing more vaccines because they think
was this for mothers who were pregnant with children, or is this just people who were maybe being on the spectrum, but it's in
No,
Korea?
because we're injecting all the fucking babies. So you're born and then you get like 27 vaccines in the first
Right, so
however long
it's
of
not
life.
for adults, it's newer people.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So the younger kids, way more rates of autism than fucking 100 years ago. Or so that's what he's claiming, right? Because he used to run this. It was another thing about water or something, and he was researching that, and then all these women kept coming to his seminars, being like, "Hey, my child had the vaccine," and then suddenly they were autistic, and the doctors are like, "Oh well,
Yeah.
he's just your child.
He might be quiet, but he's gonna be smart."
Yeah. So then he started researching that. So that's why he's super controversial. But the reason I brought it up was, and you mentioned it, he was on Theo. And one of Theo's sponsors, I don't know if you saw this, one of Theo's podcast sponsors is Peloton, which makes stationary bikes, like exercise bikes. Peloton apparently contacted Theo demanding he take the episode down.
I remember that. He said that to someone else.
Dana White.
Said it to
UFC.
Dana. Yeah.
And Dana
was in a
like,
hotel with him or something.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Peloton. And he turns to one of his other guys. He's like, what bikes do we have in the gym? And he's like, they're Peloton.
Get rid of them.
Yeah. He got rid of all the Peloton bikes. And I was like,
I don't think I saw the RFK episode. I think I saw like a thumbnail. I was like, I like RFK. I should watch that. But funny enough, I did see that scene where he spoke to Dana about it.
his episodes are hard to watch, dude. Like to listen to.
Theo's episodes?
No, RFK's because of his voice. I find it very difficult to listen to. I'm like,
cancer,
fuck, dude, you're straining.
I just gotta ask you this. Hopefully you have the answer. For everyone listening who's in the same boat as me, who just wants a quick answer, we're gonna get it from Phil right here, now. Phil's probably gonna paraphrase.
Pressure on.
Hopefully you did this research, but just put all our minds at ease. Does the buildup of mercury decrease over time in our brain? It's not a permanent thing, I'm assuming.
Yes, it doesn't stay there, but apparently it causes damage.
What?
So that's why. So like you're not gonna lose your autism.
No, but I'm saying, let's say I've got a bar, right? 0 to 100, and I've just been smashing tuna recently and it's up to 60. Will that 60% of mercury slowly decrease without any issues to my body if I'm eating tuna all the time? Or?
Yeah, of course. You're not.
Oh, good.
Unless you get mercury poisoning and it does something to you and changes you on a changes something in your brain.
I see
your
what you mean by
neurons.
damage, but it's like the Teflon thing, right? Teflon just sticks in your body. Like those Teflon pans, that shit just sits in. Apparently it's like a permanent or poison.
Like, well, it's kind of different, but like asbestos, because of the way the molecules are structured, apparently they just get hooked in your lungs and then just stay there.
Yeah, it's like fiberglass on steroids. Yeah. You're done for. Yeah.
You are done.
But they say we breathe in about 120 fucking gigaliters or something over our lifetime of asbestos. It's like in the air everywhere. Yeah. Because it's like you find it on rocks in Greece. There was old tales of like Greeks or like Spartans or whatever. They had slaves who would have to weave like blankets and clothing out of asbestos, and they used to claim lung injuries.
Yeah, it's always...
It's one of those things like I've spoken to people who have, especially out in the Northern Territory, because that shit was everywhere, dude. And I was in construction too, so I was always wearing a mask and people weren't, and I was like, you're fucking crazy. But I'd speak to people and they'd be like in their 80s and they're like, it used to be clouds of it. My old man would, and I used to jump in it, and they're in their 80s. So like, it's just one of those things. It's like you win or you lose, it sucks.
It's the extremes, right? They've obviously found some sort of correlation there, or maybe even proven that it causes, but it doesn't mean that everyone that it's exposed to it is going to get lung cancer guaranteed and then die. It's the same as smoking. There's a very high chance, but it's not a guarantee. Like, I know people, well, I don't really personally know, but like my parents know great uncles, great aunts, or grandparents of theirs that were fucking hectic chain smokers, and they lived to
90.
Yeah, lived to 90 and died of something else.
Yeah.
And then my poor grandmother, so my dad's mom, never smoked a cigarette in her life and got
died
lung
of
cancer.
Lung cancer. Yeah.
So
there you go.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Like it's always going to be something. Something will get you.
But I mean, the good news is modern medicine with AI, I'd say by the time you and I are in our 80s, we're gonna be sitting pretty. They're
Right.
probably dude. Like realistically, I think they're even now they've had some kind of breakthroughs with like using 3D printers to clone organs and whatnot.
Mhm.
And the thing is, when people take a pig's heart or something into the body, like, and they've done experiments, they will survive up to a couple of days or even a week,
Mhm.
and then they pass away.
Mhm.
It's because the body can't recognize the pig heart. It's a
It
foreign
rejects it,
object.
yeah.
So if we can clone the cells within our body of the heart, replicate it with a 3D printer and insert it in there, the body wouldn't know the difference. It's got the codes.
Yeah, it's got the DNA code.
So it'll be like, oh, you breathed in tons of asbestos. Let's just give you a new set of lungs, dude.
yeah.
That'll be 20 grand and you're sorted. Done.
Yeah.
Use the chip in my index finger. 10, 20 grand removed from bank account.
I think the biggest thing, obviously AI will be part of
Beer's
this.
going to get warm, buddy.
You're right.
Did you ever touch that fucking beer? Oh, shit. Unsere Fahne. No, go on.
Big Zippies. Obviously AI will be part of this, but I think the biggest leap, and I haven't done too much real life research into this. I've read a couple of fiction books recently that touch on this is going to be quantum computing. So Google has just made their new version of this quantum computer that they had, which claims, and this is all, I watched a little YouTube video of a guy that breaks this down of like, this is all just theoretical. They give it this complex problem to solve, and then they compare the theoretical power of the processor. But apparently it's like, this thing can solve something in 15 minutes that would have taken the previous version like 1,000,000 years to solve.
What?
So
how many, because you remember what the original computers look like? They were just like, it was like a giant room full of big
boards, yeah.
Yeah, like, is that kind of what this quantum computer looks like?
I think it's like crazier than that, yeah.
Wow.
But do you know what the special thing about quantum computing is? And I only know like a little bit. I only know surface level. But it's because digital computers, every bit of code in our phones, in our computers, is all zeros and ones. It's all just a digital code, binary code. Whereas quantum computing, you know this, right? Each individual
0, 1s, and 2s.
almost like that.
Huh.
It's instead of zeros and ones, it can be both 0 and 1 at the same time.
Fuck.
So technically, this is why they say quantum computing technically on a computing information level technically opens the multiverse, because it can work out scenarios simultaneously. So it can work out like infinite scenarios. Because how can you be?
It's not starting in one spot. It's everywhere.
Yeah. How can you be 0 and 1 at the same time, right? It's because you can be infinite amount of things at the same time. So that's why it can work out like 1,000,000 years worth of scenarios in one go, because it can just go.
And so is it helping us understand what the universe is, what life is? What is it?
Multiverse.
Are we asking it these questions?
So what you should read or watch, do you have Apple TV?
I mean, I've got Apple, so I could probably have Apple TV, yeah.
So Apple TV.
Oh, it's like an app, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Netflix. Yeah.
All right, I'll look at
Apple TV has a show called Dark Matter.
Dark Matter, Apple TV, yep.
But it's also a book by Blake Crouch. So I read the book first, listened to the book, and then watched the show just recently. Very cool.
Book better or equal information?
Book, more detail, like in his mind, obviously. And show, I actually liked, because he was part of writing the show. Like he wrote the show, obviously with help.
Right, Dark Matter, like 2015, something like that.
Yeah, a while ago. It's a few years ago. But I kind of like what he did with the show, because it's kind of like he refined the story a bit and took it in a different direction with some of the characters. And I kind of liked it. It made it more dramatic and more intense for the show. But what it's about is scientist makes a box. So he wins an award for making this miniature box that can block everything around it, anything from the outside world getting into it. And he puts I think it's a proton or something, puts a proton in there, and he manages to put the proton into superposition, which is that state of being both. The cat in a box can be dead or alive at the exact same time.
With Schrodinger's cat,
Yeah, Schrodinger's cat. So he manages to put a proton in superposition, and then he finds the love of his life.
Throws her in her box.
Nah,
she's in a box now.
She gets pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And then he says, no, I'm going to commit to a family with you. And then he has like funding for scientists to do more research. And then the baby has some issues. And
I'll tell you what's wrong with the baby. The baby got the injection and now the baby has autism.
Exactly. So then he loses his funding, loses the scientist side of him, becomes a teacher at a university, teaches physics. And that's his life, right? But he loves it. He's like drinking wine with his family,
Sounds
blah,
like
blah,
a
blah.
good fucking life, man.
So the book is about one night, he's drinking wine, and his mate who actually kept doing the science, he won the Pavia Award, like got recognized for doing something with the frontal cortex.
Yeah.
So he's like,
that's
hey,
critical thinking, right?
Yeah.
Prefrontal cortex?
Yeah. So that's like how you perceive the world, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, come celebrate with me. Yeah, cool. He goes out to the bar. Someone kidnaps him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Takes him to this remote little fucking thing. It's in Chicago. And then knocks him out, like injects him with something, passes out, wakes up in a lab with all these people around him. And they're like, oh my God, you're the first person to come back. Like, how was it? What did you see? He's like, what the fuck? I don't know any of this. He's not married. He's not this. He's not that. Turns out, and slight spoiler, but you get to know pretty early on in the book anyway, or the show. Turns out another version of him that kept doing the science managed to build a large version of the box where it can put a human into superposition. His scientist self decides that he'll be one of the guinea pigs, goes in there, figures out how to use it because it's very complex, figures out how to use it, finds this other guy's universe and is like, this guy's got it all. He's got the wife, he's got the child, he's got a happy family. I want his life. Grabs him, sends him back to his world, like justifying that he's doing him a favor, and steals this guy's life.
Does he wipe his own memory?
No.
So he's living it consciously. Like, this is great. This is fucking great.
He's like, hey, babe. So it's like very creepy, right? It's basically a stranger.
Yeah,
you dated this chick 15 years ago, and now you've come back and been like, hey, baby, what's up?
Well, it's kind of like that movie Click with Adam Sandler. Like, what about all their past memories? How does he compensate?
Yeah, and that's what I like about the show, because the show kind of digs into that because he's going to fuck up a lot, right?
Bro, hold on. Do you know what the greatest part about what you're telling me is?
What?
I thought this was going to be a scientific journal. I thought Dark Matter was going. Dark Matter's a fucking sci-fi novel
story.
Holy shit!
You'll love it,
bro. Wait, usually, I'm all for continuing this story, but I don't want to hear anything else because I'm going to fucking read this shit, dude. I'll tell you what. I've been using Audible, like I've been reading nonstop since maybe like 2013. Like I at least read a 300-page novel.
Physical read.
Yeah, physically read maybe a 300 to 500-page novel, maybe 4 a year. And I've done that since 2013 up until maybe till when I got to Sydney. And then I just went, Sydney life is too busy. I'm just going to do Audible. And I feel like I'm getting dumber. I feel like I'm not stringing sentences together as artistically. Oh, there you go. I'm stuttering. So I'm back to, I'm going to Dimmicks. I'm going to make some fucking purchases, physical copies.
Paperback?
Yeah. Because like if you're listening to Audible at the gym and stuff.
You don't want to go Kindle?
Oh, I would get a Kindle actually. Because it's like, you can actually get it so it's like, it's not abrasive lighting, eh?
It's very cool. So there's no blue light. So Em has one and she does it every night before bed.
And it's cheaper to buy books that way?
Lighting.
Or is it about the same? Is it like, are you using?
It's about the same as Audible. It'll be like $15.
$15 each book. Yeah, that's perfect. Can you get Audible on there?
Well, you don't need to because you don't need to listen.
But does Audible, I guess it's Audible as an audio, but is there like an equivalent to Audible where, does it Kindle have its own library?
Kindle is still Amazon. So Audible is Amazon, Kindle is Amazon. Perfect. So you're just buying the digital print version instead of the audio version.
I wouldn't, I've seen some Kindles on Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, well, that's cool. But how much is a Kindle just
brand new?
Outright, like $400?
Let's look it up right now. Kindle with backlighting, right? You want the backlight. You want to be reading at night.
These fizzies are really making me burpy. Yeah.
Barpy? New Amazon Kindle, $200.
Oh my God, that's so cheap.
2024 release.
Bro, I got to update. I got my New
That
South
is so
Wales
cheap.
license updated recently.
Oh yeah, you finally got your digital.
I finally got it. Oh, well, I haven't got it through. Like, apparently, once I get the physical copy, then I can use the digital.
Activate
yeah.
the digital or
So
something.
I'm still waiting to get that in the mail. I did it 2 weeks ago. So should I have it by now?
You should have it right about now.
Okay, cool.
It's normally like 2 weeks.
I'll check my mailbox when I get home. But, and then next Wednesday, I'm going to go into the post office on my lunch break and update my passport.
Which is ridiculous, right? If you can get an Amazon delivery the next day,
Yeah.
what the fuck are they doing?
Agreed.
And then passport too. That takes like another 3 or 4 weeks. It's
Is
fucked
this about
up.
a month?
Yeah, you can pay for express if you need to do it for a trip. Have you got something coming up?
Well, I'm thinking maybe Eastern Europe
Oh.
in March.
Ooh, in March.
I'm thinking fly to Greece
Oh,
and then do Bulgaria, Romania, because I want to go to Transylvania. I want to go to the castle
Oh,
because
yeah,
Nosferatu's come out. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I want to go there. But the biggest one, dude, once I leave Transylvania, dog, I want to go to Poland.
oh yes.
And you know what's in Poland.
Yeah,
You know what's in Warsaw.
yeah.
I want to do that and then maybe travel over to the fatherland and then maybe finish off in the Netherlands or something like that.
Go to the Netherlands.
When
bro.
is
So nice.
when is not the Netherlands, sorry, Scandinavia, when is Northern Lights available? Now-ish? Next month maybe? March?
I wouldn't even. Yeah, now because it's middle of winter now.
Hmm.
But you got to go north, right?
Yeah.
So you were
so
talking.
I'd have to go to like
Where are you talking?
Iceland?
Iceland. I saw them, but they were very light, like very faint. But if you want to see like hectic ones, it's like Finland or what's the other one? Sweden.
Norway. Oh, okay.
Top
Yeah.
of Sweden or
So
Finland.
from German to Sweden to like Finland or one of those, it'd be nothing. But
Paris to Berlin.
so flights, accommodation, train tickets, food, and then
You can
everything
get
else. How much would that roughly cost me?
Get a Euro
3
pass.
weeks. Yeah.
For trains, which is I can't remember if it's dollars or euros. It could be like 200-300 euros, which is quite expensive. That's like $500-600.
Same with Japan. I was considering Japan, but I was like, no, I'll get Europe. Snowboarding's off the cards, so I might as well go.
Off the cards? Why not?
It's on the tail end in Japan.
Yeah.
Apparently the mountains are going off. But this is a definite, like I'm going in March.
Really good winter. Like David is frothing over in Canada. Like it's a very cold winter. They're getting a ton of snow, which wasn't really expected because the last ones were quite warm in comparison.
Yeah. But given what I've just mentioned, obviously you don't know flight prices, but how much would that all total, you think? 3 weeks?
Well,
maybe 2 weeks and a couple of days in the countries I mentioned.
I'll base it on like our Europe flights, but ours were summer, so I don't know if it'll be different. But it'll be like, I don't know about accommodation. That's the most difficult thing to estimate.
Well, I mean, I'm not looking for a 4-star place. I can sleep in a 2 or 3 stars.
Hostel or a hotel?
Hotel. Fuck a hostel.
Yeah. So that's going to make it more expensive.
Did you live in a hostel over there? Of course you did.
I've done a hostel once, which was in Amsterdam.
It's gross.
Yeah. And especially Amsterdam. Like I was trying to...
Paris to Berlin.
No, but like Amsterdam. I like to go to Amsterdam, buy some really good weed, and like chill out. So I was trying to lay in my bed and there's people walking all around me and I'm like, fuck off, leave me alone.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that nice.
Ich bin bereit, Herr Leutnant.
But it does force you to socialize, which is good. You've done a hostel before, haven't
I
you?
did in Canada and America. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah.
So it does force you to meet people.
It was nice, but like at our age, we're old men now, and like especially if you're on the devil's lettuce, you just want to fucking Paris to Berlin, you know? So
your own head.
Give me your estimate, roughest of rough. Let's say I do a hostel in Romania and Bulgaria, and then everywhere else is hotels. Hotels ranging from 1 to 120.
How long?
Maybe 2 or 3 nights in each country. So that's 5 countries.
So like 10 days. So almost 2 weeks.
Jawohl.
The flights are going to be the biggest chunk, but you
7K?
Yeah. I was going to say you can easily go from 7 to 10.
Yeah. So fly from here to Greece. and then fly from Greece to Bulgaria, and from Bulgaria take just train,
Greece?
just train.
Greece is quite far, so you will have to do another flight. So
It'll
that's
be to like Saudi,
depends where you want to
Dubai,
go.
or some shit. Like I have to stop over in Dubai.
Depends where you want to go, yeah. But no, you'll easily be able to spend AUD 7 to 10 grand, depending on how crazy you go with buying food and shit.
So 7 to 10 in total, you reckon, after flights, accommodation. Dude, that's so cheap. I was expecting you to say 15 or something.
I'm picturing flights as like 3.5. Train ticket
in Europe, yeah.
Train ticket maybe.
About the same.
No,
not
train
3.5.
If you get a Europe ticket,
not 1,000. Yeah.
No, 3.5 grand for flights. I'm thinking, and then the train ticket maybe 500. I'm estimating, and then the rest will be like accommodation, food, going out, drinks, all that shit.
So around 10 grand. That's it. 10, 12.
Yeah, depends how crazy you go. Like I always go over, so I'm just doing like a cheap estimate.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Do as this.
Do you want me to let him out?
Well, I think Em's in the kitchen now, so yeah. What are you doing?
It's good to know. It's good information.
Do as this. Life experience. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're doing Bali in May for a wedding.
Very nice.
So like a destination wedding, but Bali's decently cheap. So
have you been able to recover since Europe?
Yeah.
Nice.
You mean financially? Or?
Yeah, because I was going to say because when you got back from Europe, you were like, fuck.
We also just bought a puppy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like purebred?
Well, he's a cavoodle, which was very expensive in COVID, but not so much now. It was almost very much an impulse purchase. Like
Sully's getting a bit too bored, was he?
Well, it had been mentioned for that reason. Like Em had been like, maybe we'll get Sully a pal. And I've been like, because I've been missing the pickle. So I'm like, no, I need a dog that's like I've had since a puppy, you know?
It's the same breed as Pickles.
No, but still poodling him.
Yeah.
But Pickles
so he's going to be a lanky boy.
Nah, Pickles was a Maltese poodle. This guy's going to be probably twice the weight of Pickles.
Right.
So he'll be more like Sully.
Yeah, nice. Chunky boy. You got to love a chunky boy.
So, so we've been like, maybe in the future. And then we went to the shops one time and we're like, let's look at some puppies. And we're like, fuck, he's cute.
So what's the date today? It's the 17th. So 7 days ago to the day I arrived in Sydney. So this is my third year in Sydney.
Completing your third year?
Completing my third year. So I arrived in Jan 10th, 2022. So here I am now. But
here I am.
Did it.
Rock you like a hurricane.
Did you say when I arrived in Sydney, did you say you'd been there for 4 years?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I've been here since November 18. So let's say start of 19.
So from next year onwards, I should have a partner, 2 puppies, and a nice spot.
No, but I moved here for that. So we can't really compare. Like I moved to Sydney to move in with a partner. And yeah.
I mean, we've all got our own journeys, but if I don't have that by then, hell
Krieg is over.
Yeah, Krieg is over. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Klaus.
But I mean, I tell you what, man, like Sydney's a great spot. It's expensive, it's busy, but like the funny thing is like
it's really ingrained in me now.
Yeah.
I think about moving back now to Queensland and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
No, never. Not even Melbourne or anywhere else.
I would only do it for being close to the fam.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would only go to another country at this point. Sydney's like the peak for Australia for me as far as I'm concerned. Like,
have you been to Melbourne?
I've been to Melbourne once. I did 2016 New Year's over there. So I was there for about 2 or 3 days. It was, but like I felt Melbourne was far more for youthful people than.
It's the weirdest thing to say because I've been here for 25 years.
You've never been to Melbourne?
Never been to Melbourne.
Really?
Never been to Melbourne, never been to Darwin. I've been from, how far down have I gone? So like below Canberra, Cooma.
Mm.
From Cooma to what's the top? Is Port Douglas higher than Cairns?
Yeah.
To Port Douglas.
True.
I've done that East Coast, and then I've done
If you've been to
Perth.
Port Douglas, you've been to Cairns. Like, it's whatever, dude.
And Adelaide. I did Adelaide.
First of all, forget about Darwin. It's bullshit. It's boring. It's lame. There's nothing there.
I got a couple of friends there, so I would visit.
Yeah. I mean,
eventually.
certainly, but you'll get there and go, oh, okay. The fucked up thing about Darwin is it's one little city, right? But
just picture a city and then picture like it's on a saucepan and there's a burner underneath and it's just hot.
It's hot. You've got one shopping mall here, one mall at the top. Like imagine a palm, one mall at the top, one cinema here. On the coast there, like on the coast, on the beach front, there's bars.
On the crocodile front?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like it's like you can't just go, hey, let's just go to Westfield today. You'd have to travel 15 minutes.
There's not even an IKEA there.
Yeah, it's fucked. Melbourne, I found Melbourne to be more like Brisbane than Sydney.
Apparently it's like more culturally.
Like you walk around Melbourne, there's more colour, more murals, there was more street buskers. All the shops are the same. They got trams and stuff, which is a bit better. And then add coal on top of that.
We're slowly doing that here.
The cool thing about Sydney is like you've got age, but you've also got futurism as well. You've got people, you've got progressive thinking, you've got moving forward, but there's also that uniqueness, and that's I think where you get the class system as well.
Are you going to be on the new metro? Because I'm pretty sure it's coming like all the way to me here in Roselle, Balmain.
Like a tram?
It's an underground metro. It's already exists, but it doesn't come out our way yet.
If it pops up in Pyrmont, maybe I'll try it because if it goes to Central. But dude, I hop on the 501 and it's just like an L shape. It's literally like if there was no lights and no traffic, I would get on my bus and get off my bus in 6 minutes. But usually it's like light, stop, left, stop, Central, stop, and then I get off. So I'm good the way I go. It's 17-minute walk to work. I should walk in the morning, but I don't want to get there and be fucking moist.
I have no idea what the timeline is on this metro to come to us either. It's probably like another couple of years, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like M's done it a couple of times now in the city, but it's like we're going to be because I feel Australia as a whole, we're pretty behind on the public transport front.
Sure.
And we've got our buses that are reliable and pretty good, but compared to other countries, like you go to London, you go to
New York.
anywhere in the States, they'll have a proper underground
every 3
system.
minutes or something crazy like that. Yeah.
So we need that. We're behind on that, and it's slowly coming.
Bro, how mad was that storm the other night? Sideways rain.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. Dude, I'm on like a 3rd story as well, so I got to see it. You'd probably look out the window and be like, whoa, but I'll show you later. But it was like, wow.
Do you know what we did? We sat in the living room, turned all of the lights off, turned the outside light on, and then had our little like space lights on the ceiling. So we're just looking out, seeing the rain in the lights and then seeing all the lightning and thunder.
You guys are doing some cool shit, man. That's sick.
Sully was scared. The new little puppy didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's just sleeping.
Yeah.
The puppy was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he likes storms. That's cool.
Yeah. I dig it.
Fluffmeister. Phil's got a new puppy. I'm not sure if you mentioned this in other podcasts. What's it?
Not
Monty?
Yet.
Marty. Martinius. Marty! Oh, from
Marty McFly.
Love it. Love it.
There was like, because we bought him so spontaneously, the first 3 days we're panicking trying to come up with a name. So we're like brainstorming all this shit and we're like, is it Marty? Do we go for more like a dog name? Do we go for like a food name? So there was like all this brainstorming. And then we kind of just automatically kept being like, Marty feels good. Like calling him Marty feels nice. The other one was like Chino because he looks like a cappuccino, the white and caramel.
I'm glad you didn't go with Chino. Chino's cool, but it's a bit too like, we live in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Marty's tight as fuck.
Chino.
Yeah.
Marty's great. Yeah. So like, it's a little bit Marty McFly, but it's also like, it's just a nice normal name. But I can claim it's Marty McFly.
I love it. Flyboy. Flyboy.
The other really compelling one was obviously Mike. Sully and Mikey. Sully and Mike.
Is it 101 Dalmatians?
Wazowski.
Ah.
Monsters Inc. That's where Sully's name is from.
Sully's the big furry one, right?
the
And
big
Mike's like,
green one.
What are you doing?
Mike's the one-eyed thing.
Yeah.
So like we're like, yeah, should we go with Mike and then make it Mikey? But we're like, nah, Marty's better. Little Marty.
Man.
I'll bring him on the podcast when he's a little less bitey.
Yeah.
Right now he's got the puppy bites.
What a cute little pup, man. Very cute. This has been a very sensible podcast. I mean, like,
I know I've been kind of going that way, like having more sensible conversation.
Do you feel like you want to hit more Huberman or like? I mean, certainly when you and I were around, it was like wild card and seriousness. So like,
I've been doing less Hubermans, as in listening. I've been doing a lot less Huberman. I was doing Chris Williamson pretty heavily, Modern Wisdom.
mm-hmm.
But right now it's very dependent on guests. So
When's your next guest lined up? Do you have another one?
Oh, I mean, not for this. I mean, what I listen to is dependent on who's on. So I like to look at like Theo Von, see if he's got any intriguing guests. Then I'll obviously do Rogan, Chris if he's got good guests. But I haven't done Huberman in quite a while.
Mm. I was thinking about like, there's still the dude I work with, Andrew Ho. He's in Europe at the moment. I think he's in Switzerland or something. He'd be a good guest. He was like, bro, I want to come on the podcast. But also, I don't think I was, dude. So I got a great story.
Here we go.
Stan TV show. Yeah. Stan TV show comes out. They want me to be, my agent messages me and goes, there's a Stan TV show. It's called Watching You. I think it's based off a book.
Okay.
I don't know the entire premise of the story because I didn't do the research, but the scene that I was given is you have no lines, but you will be doing intimacy work with a female partner and you will be playing a guy having sex on camera with another woman. Are you a sex
double?
I am.
Oh, no way.
No, I'm not a sex double, but a sexier. I don't know what the fuck. So I was like, I read it.
No, but like
me being dyslexic retard, I read it as inmate. So I thought, oh no, dudes fucking each other and they're in like an experiment. Yeah. I was totally fucking dyslexic, dude. I don't know what was going on with my mind. I messaged my agent, mate, I don't know about this, dude. I want talking lines.
I don't know
and
about this, pal.
He's like, dude, the more you need to create a presence with casting directors and things like that in Sydney, the more they see you, the more they see you working, the more they're going to put you forward for shit. This is maybe
I just want to clarify. Is
October.
This face included or is this like
correcto?
You know the movie Love Actually? It's not like those two sex doubles where they're just like, well, all right, put your hand on her breast. And
yes.
And it's just no heads.
No. Hear me out.
You are the character.
You might be able to work it in there. I'm not too sure. I've watched bits of Love Actually, like the part with Keira Knightley and shit. So I was like, eventually I acquiesced. I was like, all right, I'll do it. And then I realized fucked it. I'm thinking for like a week before I go to this thing.
Stressing out. You're
stressing.
Like, fuck.
Do you know across the street from the where did you used to work in Botany Road?
Across the street from Volkswagen.
Yeah, what was the Volkswagen? What's the other one?
Skoda.
Across from Skoda, right where the bridge is, there's a set of buildings there.
Yeah.
Apparently that's like the building for like most Netflix shows and shit. They have a huge casting agency there, dude.
Oh,
and I'd walk past that every day because I lived in Botany, dude. I'd walk past it every day. I just thought it was a set of buildings.
Right near the Service New South Wales?
Yeah.
Oh,
across from New South Wales Service. So you get across the bridge. Yeah. Skoda's there, right there. It's that set of buildings and the cars are always parked at the front. So I'm thinking, I agreed, I'm thinking, basically the brief was a camera is watching you have sex with an intimate partner, but it was actually, I thought it was inmate. I really am dyslexic. So I was like, oh, fuck. And then it said male, only male. So I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
Which is obviously just describing you.
Yeah. And because I'm a shorter dude, I'm like pretty much in the between 5'8" and 5'9". I was like, I'm definitely going to have to be the bitch in this and like the one getting dominated by some like 6'4" dude. I was not happy about it, dude. I was stressing, wasn't sleeping well. The first role first role I get in Sydney is me getting cornholed. I wasn't happy about it. And they were like, you got to do kissing and thingo. So I was like stressing. My
Yeah,
agent was
good.
like, dude, you got to do it. I thought my agent was going to like get me off
And
his
you were
books.
still willing to be like, I might do it. Maybe I'll do it.
Oh, well, I had no choice. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
acting comes first, right?
Yeah.
So I get there to this place. Work was cool. They're like, yeah, take some time off. I get there.
You're ready. You
I
got your
walk
bottomless
in.
chaps.
Males and females.
Ah,
There's females in there. I'm like, am I just auditioning singularly and they're auditioning for something else? And then they're like, no, Joel, you're partnered up with these people. And they were like, I was talking to them and they're like, it's intimate, not inmate. And I was like, whipped out my phone, intimate.
yeah.
I was like, I lost sleep over this. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways,
Thank God, though.
I get partnered with this really cute, really cool girl called Andrea, right? Young, just a wonderful human being, dude. So nice. I'll send you these pictures. You got to put them in the thing. It's great.
Are these of her? Do we have her permission to put these on?
Well, I'll ask her, me and her. So like she's marvelous, dude. That's me and her on set.
Yeah.
And then this is me and my
shit, you grew your beard out?
yeah, real, just a wonderful human being. This is me on set. Hey, like you can like you know. So we had to do intimacy work. So
How do they do that for an audition? You're about to get into it.
this is great. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So like we had this wonderful intimacy coordinator. I can't remember her name, but she was amazing, right? She was
coordinator.
in between 40s
Beautiful.
and 50s, lean, fit. You could tell she kept active and she was great. So we got paired up. And like when I got into the room, I saw everyone was a bit nervous to talk to each other. There's different shapes, colors, sizes. And Andrea was like, oh my God, hi, is everyone? I was like, okay, once I established, yeah, I'm going to be with a woman, thank God. I was like, I hope I get to partner up with her because she seems chill. They partnered us up instantly.
Beautiful.
I was like stoked. So she and I went in there and then they had everyone in a room look at each other. And there was like maybe 6 of us, like 2 couples, male and female, male, like different age brackets too. We were like lucky enough to be around the same age. There was like one guy and one girl who were like 20-year age gap. It was like a thing. So I sat there and we looked at each other and then they were like, tell each other like you're comfortable to touch each other and now tell each other one at a time what parts of the body you don't want to touch. So I was like, you know, straight up, I'm happy to show all my body. I'm happy if you touch any part of my body. Not me being like I'm a man. I didn't give a fuck. It was just like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like whatever. And then she was like, you know, don't touch certain areas, but it was very limited. So she was super open as well. So we were cool. And it was like, are you good? We're good. Checking in on each other all the time.
Yeah.
And they were like, now touch each other's arms and shoulders. Are they comfortable? We did it to each other. We have to give permission. May I touch your shoulders? Yep. Next part, may I touch your biceps and elbows? Yep. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Did that. And then they gave us the dates and times. And the cool thing about Andrea is like, she doesn't have a Facebook, an Instagram, sorry. She was like, I'm just doing it rogue, just got into acting, doing all the stuff. She's a really cool person. Like she's doing like artistic stuff, writing her own shit, did a bit of theater. So it was really interesting. And then to speak to someone who doesn't have an Instagram profile and we talk via phone and text just felt so old school and organic.
But like, yeah, I was about to say so natural and organic is a perfect word. Yeah.
Such a breath of fresh air. And then, so comes to the day when we film, she and I met at the spot. It's like a kind of like yeah.
Is this filming auditions or are you filming for actual footage?
Filming for an actual Stan TV show.
You're going to be on a Stan TV show naked.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They tell us.
Do you want me to watch it or not watch it?
No, you can watch it. So they tell us.
I want you to see my horse cock.
Yeah. They say, look, like it's going to be, so the scene of the show, this is probably bad that I'm a crim, but who's going to watch this? All I got was, I'm going to be on camera and the scene is, basically, what I know, this is all I know, is that I don't know about the entire show, but a wife and a husband own a property and the husband rigs cameras on an Airbnb basically and films couples fucking.
Shit, yeah.
And then the wife finds his computer and finds thumbnails of each different thing and she clicks on each one. So realistically, you may not even see me pop up. I might just be a tiny thumbnail on screen. Yeah. But
they need obviously different people so that it looks like different couples. Yeah.
And like we kind of had, like I had tattoos, she had tattoos. So we kind of like an alt couple and I had a bald head. So maybe they might choose us and then a different one. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But I got about $800.
So it's like, oh, brilliant.
Decent, dude. Two actual days of work.
I'm assuming it's like M-rated.
Oh,
Like, I'm assuming all your bits are hidden and angles and stuff.
Well, so when we were the same day, the first day, and Andrea and I actually met, we had to go out after we did the intimate, we were comfortable with each other, blah, blah, and then the actual director was there. He's a Kiwi guy, and he'd actually done a couple of stuff, and I think he may have written this. So it was me, Andrea, the actual physical director, the big dog director, the guy who wrote and is directing
The show, yeah.
Yeah, and then the intimacy coordinator. So every single couple that was paired up had to do 2 different like sexual positions. So ours was me going down on her and then her on top of me. So they had like a mat lined out. Remember the mats we used to somersault on in school?
Yeah.
Like those like mats. So like we were sitting there and they put pads between our genitals and then we had to like, and then she was like, be vocal.
So they even put pads there, right? I was always wondering how they did that for.
You're getting ahead of yourself here because this this was just the rehearsals, right? Schleim. So the day we get there, they told us all about what we're going to be wearing, right? So the day we get there, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We had to shoot at about 11, so we had to be prepped. I get there. It's raining, it's a bit overcast. Andrea's there, we're like talking and chatting and stuff, and then we have to go into like an actual trailer. There's like trailer. A woman comes, picks us up, we drive to the spot. We were in like near Rosebery, and then we get driven over to a spot in Newtown. It was like a house.
Right.
Nobody owned it, but it was like a feng shui, really beautiful double story. Yeah. So I get in there, I have to wear a cock piece. Now it's not like a plastic cricket cod piece. It's like a material, skin color. So
you're basically Ken doll.
Yeah. So imagine anyone who's played like, or even played around with like cricket, the cod pieces in cricket or whatever, you've seen one before. It's kind of just like a piece that goes over your genital area. A cup.
Yeah. Like for martial arts. Yeah, I've done that.
But imagine it's made out of just like the bandages they put around a person who's got a burn victim or something. Skin colored, 2 holes. So the top hole I put my penis and my nutsack in.
No way.
And then it's just that, and then it ties around your waist. So your butthole and butt crack is completely exposed, right? They give me that, and then they give me slippers to wear, a pair of pants, a shirt if I wanted, and then a robe. I was like, I'll take the comfy gray fluffy robe. And then as I leave and I'm sitting there waiting for the van to pick us up, more of the other
After
couples.
filming.
Yeah, we were the first couple to film, which is cool. We were great. This is why I'm hoping
you didn't go into any detail about the filming. You're just going from.
I'm about to.
Okay,
I'm getting there.
You
know me. I don't just go from one spot to the other. I'm painting it because I like to think that the more details I express, the more people are like warming up and they're like, okay, I'm feeling this,
Yeah.
If I'm not, let me know.
Sorry,
and I'll cut
I was only concerned because you went straight to the end where you get picked back up.
Yeah, no.
Give me the dirty details.
You're right. So,
but no, continue.
We both come out. We're both in robes. It's cool. We get picked up. We go over there with the first couple. We sit downstairs for a while. It's basically an apartment with just tons of filming equipment. They must have filmed so many scenes here before us, which they filmed a scene that day with the actual actors. And I saw them at the trailer room as well. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't get to meet anyone because, we're in the zone. I wasn't nervous or apprehensive. I was like, let's do it. It's whatever. And Andrea was cool too, so it was fine. Some of the other couples are like making backstories like, okay, you're in IT and I'm just like a prostitute. Me and Andrea were like, well, fuck, we're just going to go there and have fun, whatever.
Yeah.
We go upstairs, the first couple, they have the director sitting on a chair with the full monitor in front of him. And then right there's the bed. And then it's got like a bit of open space. Then they've, put props and stuff everywhere.
You're meant to be a couple, right? So it's meant to be like normal couple, intimate.
Andrea kind of said, you're going off to like FIFO work. And I'm like, I'm like this or that. So like, but she had like cool, like she's like Asian, like half and half. So she's got like, her skin color can get away with like having like red tattoos. She had like these cool red dragon tattoos. She kind of looks like a tattoo artist or something cool. And I just look like a tradie with tats, So like what kind
your look, like from a distance with no lines, you look like alternative
couple.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. You got it. So the actual physical camera they were using was like a tripod setup, and then it was just like a pencil thin camera with like a little
I know the ones. Yeah.
But when I looked over in the monitor, I was like, it kind of looked like a bird, like a fisheye kind of, but it was like really crisp. So we hopped into the bed And then she was topless. Like she agreed to, I think all the women agreed to be topless, but we had things covering our genitalia. And the women's one was kind of like a thong, like it went up the ass crack and then went around. And then
But
mine was just like,
thong. Yeah.
And then, so we're there. And then the first one we had to do was like her on top of me. And like the lady said to me in the rehearsal, she's like, all right, boys, you're likely going to get a boner. If you do, we'll stop shooting, da-da-da. Luckily enough, like I was just like too like, all right, the director's right there.
I was
And
going
like,
to say,
there's camera people around. So like cool enough though, they actually let the cast go downstairs. So it was only like me, Andrea, director.
not that many people. Yeah.
Pretty much 4 of us.
Just to intervene there, like I always feel like most people would go directly to that. Like, oh my God, what if you get a boner? No, it's not going to happen. Like you've got people directing, watching you.
I'm doing a job.
Yeah, that shit. I'm flaccid as fuck if that's happening.
Yeah, I'm working.
If there's people around, I ain't getting turned on. Like this is acting.
And look, Andrea's gorgeous. Like she was gorgeous. Like if I met her on a night out and she was single, like we'd hit it off.
Yeah.
Well, I like to think so. But I mean, all professional. She had a boyfriend. It was pure professional.
Yeah.
Did not give two shits. Just wanted to work. Wanted to relay the story. There's couples here. They're having sex in an Airbnb. They're unbeknownst to them. They're being filmed. So first scene, she's on top of me. She's riding me. You know, we didn't have a pillow between our genitalia, but it wasn't grinding.
Thong things on.
They're able to do it so her legs were resting on like towards my knees on my thighs, so our genital wasn't touching. So, but like the camera's there, so we made it look. And she was like, you know, move a little bit to the left, perfect, boom, boom, right? And then the next scene, it was like her lying down. So you would have had one shot of my face there, and then her lying down, a shot of her face, and then it was me like going down on her and like, you know, like she was like, say, it was like jumping jack flash. She's like, say that. So I was like, jumping jack flash. And it looked like I was.
Oh, yeah. Your jaw movements and stuff from the back.
And then I like, in this situation, as all men can agree, if we're going down there, you'd put your hand on the breast and kind of squeeze it and stuff. But like, obviously I wasn't going to touch her breast. That's off limits. So I kind of just had my hand in her chest and I was like saying the lines. But the funny thing was I had gum in my mouth and I was like, before we started filming, I was like, I got gum. Can I just keep it in? She was like, it's fine. So I was like chewing gum, like jumping back, jumping back. Is that kind of look worked? And then they're like, perfect, cut, great. And then I was like lying in the bed and they were like, all right, we'll get a shot of like, Andrea, you're putting your clothes on. And then Joel, you just like do whatever. So I was like, do you want me out of the bed or do you want me to pretend like I'm having a nap? And they're like, okay. So like she was like at the end of the bed putting her shoes on. And I was like, passed out.
Nice.
And then we had to do a scene where she hopped back in the bed and I was like cuddling her and shit. And then, so I'm hoping the footage was good enough.
So you don't even know if you get chosen or not.
Don't know.
They'll just do it in editing.
Yeah. I got paid and I mean, on IMDb, I can put that I was in it, but you never know. So that was
wild, dude.
That was the closest, that was the first like filming project I've done in Sydney. It was real cool.
The first proper Stan TV show.
Stan, dude. That's nuts, right?
That's big.
Hopefully my name pops up in the credits. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh!
The show is called Watching You, so we'll see I don't even know when it's going to come out. I don't have Stan.
We don't have dates?
No. Do you have Stan?
Do you think? No, I don't. But do you think there'll be dates on?
Maybe if you Google it, it'll come up, but I don't know.
Watching.
But,
I'm doing it right now.
The coolest thing was that was my first ever intimacy stuff, and it was easy. So look, if anyone out there is considering doing acting or at least extra work, and someone asked you to be a person who's gonna a fuck body, then keep in mind like it's not scary. It's actually like they
would just make it so professional,
so
right?
professional, so respectful, so just they really care about your feelings. So yeah, it's cool.
I can't see any dates, but I'm obviously
watching
not
you
doing.
Stan?
Yeah, I've got the TV show, but there's no date. Oh, maybe I just type in release date.
Yeah,
release.
But the problem was they messaged me and they said, hey, Joel, do you have a release form from your tattoo artist? I said, no. I got these tattoos in like 2014, 13. Don't even remember the tattoo artist's name. He probably doesn't remember my name. I had hair back then. So if I was to appear on camera, you're not even going to recognize my tattoos.
So they have to...
They got to do tattoo release forms. They need to get permission from the tattoo artist. Because look,
bullshit.
Let's say you're a tattoo artist.
Hang on. Is that bullshit?
Nah.
Is that
it's
bullshit?
their
Because they're
art.
doing,
It's
yeah, but
their
they're
art.
doing it for you on your skin. You can go wherever the fuck you want after that.
Agreed.
How have they got any control over where you show
That's
your
true.
skin?
That's true. The thing was, the back piece on my leg was my idea, and the front part was my last artist's idea, so they wouldn't see shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's kind of lame.
that's annoyed me a little bit.
They messaged me twice, and I said to them, look, the second time they said, are you sure you can't get permission? I said, look, I don't know this person. I look so much different back then. Person doesn't recognize my name. This was maybe fucking 11 years ago. It's not an
That
issue.
annoys me that
And
that
they
is
were
a
like,
thing.
Yeah.
That really annoys me because as a tattoo artist, surely sure, this is your art, but you're putting it on someone's body.
Hmm.
Like they will still have permission to do whatever the fuck they want with their body.
If you painted a glorious painting, right? Next level painting.
That's a different thing.
And
You're
then-
not putting it on someone's body.
but you allowed it, but you owed it, right? It was in your apartment. You didn't sell it to anyone. And then at a museum,
You've
said,
basically
can we take your art and put it in the Louvre for 4 months?
You've basically paid for that art piece.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah, true.
You own that. That artist made that for you.
You heard it here first, Stan.
That's my opinion.
I fuck with it.
It says that was released.
What? Do you have Stan?
Oh wait, this is an OG. This is an older version.
Because I think it was a book first, dude.
Watching you, Stan.
TV drama?
Let me put in 2025. There's one in 2015.
No, it wouldn't be it.
2025.
We filmed last year. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down. Left hand down and a telegram.
Coming
Oh, yeah.
soon.
Wait, do you know what I watched the
Coming
other day?
soon. A trailer from March 2024. So
Oh,
it's been in the works for a while.
do you know what I watched recently? Is like the word Luna is moon. And dude, we had jazz
You
playing.
said this on the podcast. How did we go from Luna to moon?
Yeah, we had jazz
Actually,
in the
maybe that
background.
was on a dark files.
We had jazz in the background, dude.
That's not released.
Which originally said the moon, like the Greeks said the moon was called Luna, right? Dude, we were so faded. Why did we go from Luna to moon? Dude,
Ladies and gentlemen, that is an unreleased episode. That was
really?
Yeah, that is the dark files. I just
Dude.
put that into the clip maker to get those.
Do you
those
have all
nice
the old
clips.
dark files that you got
Oh
rid of?
no,
Them?
it's.
Oh,
I own
nasty.
all of that.
That's doomsday shit right there.
I own all of that.
Oh, I actually need to urinate, so
I think we can call it. It's been like an hour and a half. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit the
Well, thanks everyone for listening. Back to the OG with Joel Kommerfort und Philipp Giet.
Prost, everyone.
Prost.
Happy 2025. Let's get shit going.